Good morning everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. Today I'm going to work on Roxy's weekly challenge week 14. So for week 14, Rachel made, get my words out properly, she made foam stamps, and it's something I have done before, but not for a long time. And I thought I'd show you the ones that I've already got done. So I tend to use these on my gel plate. You can probably see the paint residue on these. I've never actually used them for stamping with ink pads, so I thought, well, perfect time to make some that are dedicated for using with ink pads or stamp pads. So these are my ones I've been using on my gel plate. So we've got some sort of wonky circles, just some wonky lines, some little crosses, hearts, a bigger heart, and just random little bits that I had left over. I haven't actually used this one yet, and they're all glued onto cardboard, corrugated cardboard. I don't have self-adhesive foam, so I use my alcohol-based glue, and I find it works perfectly well. So that's the ones. Now I also wanted to show you these two. So these two, the foam is a lot thicker, and I absolutely love these. With the, because you don't even need to back them because they're deep enough, you can actually just use them as is. But do you know those foam floor puzzles that you get for children? These were alphabet ones, you can get just puzzle piece type ones, you can get all sorts, and they're really thick. And I happened to find a letter K years ago that somebody had thrown out, and I rescued it and I cut it into stamps. And you can use the textured side, so this makes a really nice cross-hatching sort of texture, or you can glue the texture side down like I did with these ones and just use the flat side for stamping with. So if you have any of those children's puzzles that are floating around, like you've thought you should have got rid of them by now, hold on to them, make stamps with them. And I just cut them. They're a little harder to cut because you can't really cut them with scissors so much. You definitely need a craft knife, so you do need to be very careful, but like they make just the coolest stamps. And I wouldn't go too intricate with the designs, again, because cutting them is harder, but again, the results are pretty cool. So I was preparing for this video, I grabbed out some cardboard, just cardboard packaging, and I knew I had a couple of scraps of foam in my jelly print bin where I keep all my texture makers, and then I had a packet in my studio of foam I went to grab and discovered it was all glitter foam. Yeah, I don't think glitter foam's going to really do the job because it's going to leave debris everywhere, and I don't want glitter in my stamp pads. So I thought, well, I'll just make however many I can out of these two little pieces. And then I thought, blow it, I'm just going to hop down to the shop, quick run down to the shop, and I picked up a pack of 10 foam sheets for $2.50. Perfect. Now I can make stamps to my heart's content. In reality, we're probably not going to make much more than this, but I have more in reserve. And then I had to choose colour because they didn't have multiple colour packs. They all had single colours. So I was like, I feel pink. Oops, sorry. That's my phone. I'm just going to, since it reminded me, I'm just going to pop it on Do Not Disturb. So bear with me for a moment. Oops, crash. Oh gosh, we're off to a fine start, aren't we? So I'm going to grab a pen and I'm going to start making some designs. Rachel made some really cool designs that I hadn't thought of making. I'm not entirely sure what designs I want to make, so I might make something similar to what Rachel made, but my take on it. So she made little arches, and that might not work. Maybe an ink pen might work better. Yep, that'll work better. Whoops, so I'm going to do little arches, but I'm going to do little nesting arches. So I drew that wrong really, so I'm going to have to cut this one out first before I proceed. So just when you're handling your foam, be very wary of edges, sharp points that are going to mark your foam, because they will stay there and then leave an imprint when you stamp with them. So like your fingernails or something like that. You don't want to end up with marks that you didn't intend on leaving. Oops. So when I glue that down, I can glue it so it's not curvy, not super wide. Now I'm going to trim out, and I'm not even going to mark it, I'm just going to cut it randomly. There's another arch, but I want the smaller arch because I want them to nest like a rainbow, I guess, with gaps in between. So I can make two different sizes like this, and I want a bigger one, so give myself a bit of room. So trace around this one. Oops, wonky ears. It's the beauty of these, they don't have to be perfect. Perfect for an easy day's crafting, just having fun with some fun foam. It's not very thick foam. Rachel used self-adhesive, I don't have that. And this isn't very thick, so you can double layer it. The big heart I made here was double layered, so I cut out 2 layers and glued them together. That's an option if you want a deeper stamp that doesn't risk getting your background stamping in the image, if you know what I mean, like the cardboard backing leaving an impression. We'll just see how it goes. So which one do I want? I want the middle one really, don't I? Cut. See how they go really wide, but you just glue them down and they won't do that anymore. So this middle one will be for our first set of arches or rainbow. And then this one can be for our second set. So there'll be different sizes, which is cool. And then we might do something else with that bit that came out of the middle. Oh, and I keep dropping them. So you can leave them wide if you like the wide look, or you can bring them in, you know, manipulate them a bit when you glue them down. So let's glue these down. Grab my glue and get to gluing. So I'm not sure, we may need more cardboard than this. I cut this in half and the other half hasn't got these slots out of it. I can't even remember what this was off of, this cardboard, but it was some sort of product. Good sturdy cardboard. So how is everyone today? Having a good day, I hope. What are you up to? What's on your craft desk today? What's on your to-do list? I have lots on my to-do list. I do have to say, I've got lots of things I want to get achieved today. So my husband's been home sick and today he's back at work, so I'm free to do my own schedule again, which I always prefer when I can plan out my day and get things done. When he's home, everything goes to pot really. my schedule goes out of the door. Not because he makes me or anything, just because I prefer to spend that time with him and see to his needs and, you know, just spend the time. So that means sacrificing some video time, some office time, getting printables done, all that sort of stuff. Right. Pretty happy with how that looks. Okay, let's do our other one over here. So this one's got a little solid bit in the middle. I might start, do I want to start with the bigger one? Might start with the bigger one this time. And I do apologise. Gosh, what's wrong with my words? Apologise if there are random noises here and there. The workmen are doing the opposite side of the footpath. They're digging out the old footpath on the other side of the road now, with lots of beeping machinery and scraping of tar seal up and things like that. And I've opened the front windows because it's a beautiful warm day outside. So I'm trying to bring some of that warmth inside, but it does mean the sounds will carry through more as well. Sounds like they've gone on break at the moment because it's gone quiet, but I'm sure they'll start up again. They're almost done with the digging out. I think they've only got like a quarter of the footpath on the other side to do, left to do. And then there'll be other sorts of noises instead. It'll be great when it's all finished, because then it will go back to being a nice quiet street again. But it does look good. The footpath that they've done, like our footpath on our side of the road, does look really good. Okay, and I think I could leave out this middle bit, but I'm going to pop it in. Here we go. Awesome. So I'm going to leave those to dry before I try and trim around them. What else would we like to do? Some sort of simple floral maybe. And that's really bugging me. I've got some black mark on my finger. There we go, that's better. So I'm going to start by drawing my center, because I always start by drawing my center of my flowers. And I think I'll do little curvy petals. Like so. Let's cut out our flower. I do like cutting curvy lines, quite fun. Very fluid. So I want to get in and continue work on the Sweet Moments add-on kit. It's coming along really nicely, but I'd really just like to get it done and up on Etsy now. So still quite a bit of work to do, but yeah, loving it. It's going to be a great partner to the Sweet Moments digital kit, which is now up on Etsy. Okay, so we've got our flower here, and to give it a bit more definition, I'm going to take a tool of some description. What am I going to use? Could use a pen, just a pen nib will work. And I'm gonna, actually I might just do it on the same side that I drew. I'm gonna create an indent. And where I'm creating the dent, that won't print when you stamp it. So you've kind of got to think in reverse. I do want to define those petals a bit. So I'm not going to go quite as deep, although it probably doesn't really matter whether I go deep or not. It's still going to create a void when we stamp it. If you don't go deep enough, then it won't create the void. So maybe I'll go a bit deeper just to make sure. And I want to create some of the little sort of crease lines in the petals. And using pen means you can see it better too. Yep, there they go. Sounds like they're cutting concrete. Here we go, there's a flower. Might need to put this over here, I think. I hope that's not too noisy. Oh, sorry, I went silent. I was busy thinking, should I pause the video and go and shut the windows? Is it okay? What are they actually cutting? All those things. But hopefully it's far enough away that it's not disturbing you. Okay, so we've got 3 stamps so far. What else would we like? I'd really like to do a sort of leafy design similar to what Rachel did on her video. So not too sure exactly. So start with stem. Let's start with the stem. Oh, the pen's now working. It didn't work before. Okay. Gosh, I'm a dilly. Of course it was working. I was watching it working on the flower. Please excuse me. I just needed to deal with my nose. It was dripping a little. Okay, so actually I might draw a stem all the way up. And then let's do more leafy shape like this. Okay, so I do want this to be more straight up and down, otherwise there'll be nothing to hold it all together when I cut it out. And one at the top. So this will be a little trickier to cut out, but hopefully not too bad. And there they go again. At least it's not constant, I suppose. And you don't have to cut it out perfectly to your design, it's just a guide. So it's not too bad actually to cut out. I think this foam is easier to cut out than the adhesive one because it's a little thinner. And of course it's not sticky. So you're not running into that sort of issue with gumming up your scissors or anything. And then I always look at the offcuts, like Rachel did, to see what else I can do with them. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Sort of pattern. Looks almost like waves or something. So yeah, busy day today. I need to get videos done ahead of time, as per normal, for my days out this week. Last day of my course tomorrow, So the day that you see this will be the last day of my digital marketing course that I've been doing. It's the last day in person where I've got to go into to the premises. The actual last day is the following week, which is just a Zoom call, which is fine. And then on Friday, I'm going out. I'll be out all day, so I can go and have coffee with my girlfriends in Rangiora. So that'll be lovely. Looking forward to that. So everything that I want to do at home, like work on the digital kit, recording videos, and all that sort of thing, will have to be done today and Thursday. Puts a little bit of pressure on, but also it helps me stay focused as well. There, I think that looks, I don't want to put it there in case I end up using that space, so I do have some strips I cut off of this. Maybe we put this on one of those. I think that's about perfect. Why not use up the scraps of our cardboard and our foam? What other designs should I do? I did have some ideas last night and they've all flown out of my head. I should have written them down, but I didn't, so now I can't think what they were. Slightly off the side of the cardboard, just one tip of a leaf. I'm sure it will be fine. Whoops. Cool. Awesome. So that one can go and dry. These ones will be dry, so let's trim them out so we know what cardboard we've got left over. Looks like I need to make some narrow designs to use up these strips. Oh, go. Oh, that one's still attached. So there we've got those two. And our flour should be dry enough as well. I'm going to continue cutting this as a flap, so I'm going to cut the flap off. Here we go. Maybe I'll cut down this one where the creases already are. Okay, so we've made 4 so far. Perhaps we should do a more square design. What would we like to do? Grab out another bit of foam. Inspiration hit me now. Let's have a sip of my coffee while I think. How about a fishy? I don't know why a fish, but that's what came to me. So let's try doing a fish. Do I like that sort of tail? Do I like this sort of tail? I think I like this sort of tail better. And some wheat fins. Like so. Here we go. Let's see what our fish is going to look like. Just going to trim it square. Just a little bit easier to cut out. I don't know how often I'll use a fish, but I have one now. Well, I will have one. So if I want to stamp a fish, I can stamp a fish. I do have like rubber stamps of fish. And I have to say I don't use those very often, but it is bigger than this. So, you know, maybe I'll need a small fish from time to time. That bit's probably not going to be used, so I'll pop it in the rubbish. And a little fishy mouth. There we go. So what I might do is I'm going to grab a fork. I keep this on my desk in my stationery, you know, my pen holder for opening tins of paint. Very, very useful. Gosh, I am filthy. It must be coming off the foam, the pen transfer. Anyway, and I'm going to make some impressions, some dents with my fork to give it a little bit of detail. So pressing quite hard to leave some good dents. And I've just done 4 rows of prong marks. And then I'm going to take the end of a pen, so I'm going to use this one I've been using to write with, and retract the pen. So I don't want the pen, so this is the pen nib sticking out. I want to retract it, and then I'm going to come in here and press it down again quite hard, and that's going to give me an eye. And then one other detail, take my pen again, this time with the nib out. Just get rid of that glue off my fingernail because it's annoying me. And I'm going to give some detail in the tail. And in the fin. And in the bottom fin as well. Just a couple, if I can do it. Don't drag too hard because you don't want to end up ripping off your foam with the drag. So we will test these out and have a look at how well they work. I'm hoping they work well. That's interesting, the impression's gone right through to the other side. So I'm not bothering to double layer these, I'm just doing a single layer, and hopefully that'll be fine. We shall see. Here we go, here's our fishy. Cool. I'm looking forward to trying the fish out actually. Right, scraps. Okay, what's next, people? Have you been throwing your ideas out into the universe for me to catch? Let's try a butterfly. Let's do it. Okay, I'm not great at drawing butterflies. I don't know why, I just find butterflies quite hard to draw. I don't want a huge butterfly. No, I don't want a huge butterfly. I think I want it quite small actually. Well, smallish. Now that's more rounded. I think that's the problem. I have trouble with the symmetry of them, I guess, is my problem. Getting them symmetrical. There is definitely something to be said for making things deliberately wonky. A lot of these scraps won't really be good for anything, but we can go through them and see what we can do. Okay, that butterfly's not too bad, and there was that little scrap I threw away which I thought was no good, but I actually have a use for it now. So I'm gonna cut this bit of card in half. I'll glue it down our butterfly. I don't think I'll give him any texture. Right, but I am going to give some antenna. So this little scrap that I thought wasn't any good for anything, it's not quite straight, so I'm just trimming off the pointier bit. And then half, basically half of what's left. Now, do I have room for them? Let's try them out. They might not have room for them. No, I'm going to scrap that. I think they look silly. So let's scrap it. And I wasn't going to do detail, but I think I will. Oops, I should wait till the glue's dry. But, you know, time is precious. Give some shape to the wings, and then we'll take our pen again, and I'm going to create that mark with the end of the pen. And one in the bottom wings. And then with the pen nib out, I'm just going to make, hopefully, a smaller hole. So it's interesting with the pen, end of the pen, when you do that, because the center is raised and you end up with a ring pattern rather than a empty circle. Right, one other thing I want to try. Would my punch go through it? Just going to grab my little hole punch here and grab some scraps, because we might as well use scraps to test this out on. Getting it out might be the thing. This might be too time consuming to do on camera, I suspect. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is, along with my other paper. Okay, so that does work, punching them out with a punch, but I think too time consuming. Okay, but what we could do instead is something similar, using this scrap from creating our arches or our rainbows. Oh, that one didn't punch out completely. Neither did that one. Okay, I wonder if this is going to dull my punch. That one was okay. I'm just going to punch around the edge of the arch. Oop, I think it's getting full with all the foam bits. Okay, don't tear on me, don't tear. Okay, so I've got some bits I can do something with if I choose, but we've got this interesting little design. I don't know what it's going to look like stamped. I don't know. Actually, I might just trim around and make it an arch with holes in it. This kind of reminds me of a horseshoe. That's fun. Okay, let's glue it down. What I like with this is you just play. Just like, what can I come up with now? What can I do that's different? What shapes might I like to use in stamping, and whether it's art journaling, creating ephemera, mark making, collage. You know, you can just let your imagination go wild and try out different things. And $2.50 for 10 A4 sheets of this foam, like it's not dear. And cardboard, that's just waste material. It's not dear. Okay, so we have how many? 4, 5, 6. Now I could keep going, and like I haven't even used up all the foam that I did find. So while that last one's drying, let's look at some of our scraps and see. So this one I'm just going to throw, and this one, those smaller ones I don't think I'm really going to do much with. Okay, what have we got left? I'm going to trim off these scrappy bits. I don't know if I'll use my holes. I probably will use my holes for something, but I'm not sure that I'll do that on camera. I have to come up with an idea for those. Right, and we need a bit of cardboard. So, oh, and we've got our butterfly. So we've done 7. Not bad, not bad. Let's grab this strip of cardboard. Maybe we'll cut it in half and see what we can come up with. I am feeling a bit geometric. So since we've got this nice sort of rectangular bit, I'm thinking triangles. Because I definitely don't have a triangle stamp. So I'm trying to do different sizes. Here we go, and let's just glue down some triangles. Now I haven't kept them in order, so they probably going to end up mismatched. Which is fine by me. We can try and match them up if we so desire. Or when you're cutting them out, you can be a bit more careful and keep them in order as you're cutting. Sort of an Aztec sort of feel pattern, I think. Should be a bit of fun to use. I think that was an end one. Said I wasn't going to worry about whether they matched up, did I? What am I doing? I'm trying to match them. Okay. Oh, glue string sticking to me. I think I like that one there. There's a little line dent in the foam that I want to make sure I glue down to the cardboard so it doesn't leave that line impression, which is part of what I'm playing with and arranging them. Yep, glue strings. Gonna need to grab out a wet wipe, I think. And all gluey. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. Okay, so that's number 8 done. And we've only been at it, oh, a while, I guess. But, you know, not too long in the grand scheme of things. What else might we like to do? I think I'm just going to get rid of these odd shaped bits because I'm not, and that bit, not feeling inspired by them. Do we want to do something with this fun random shape? Let's give it a go. I don't know what it will be. It will just be a random shape. I'm just going to glue it down. What's it cost? It's the only thing it's costing me is a bit of glue. So I'm going to give it a go. And if it doesn't look any good, I'll just throw it out. No big loss. And the same goes for any of these stamps. You know, you create one and you give it a go and think, oh, just grab some more cardboard, some more foam and try something else. Here we go. We're going to give that a shot and see what it will produce. It may look horrible. It may look pointless. We shall see. Okay. I think that's enough play. Let's do some stamping, otherwise we're going to run out of time to do that. So just clear my desk, close my glue, pop it away and, oops, knock some things over. All good. Right. Over there. So I need some paper to stamp on. So I'll pop those two up there because they need to dry still. Paper, paper, paper. I should have lots of paper here, but so just got this paper pad here. I'm just going to grab out what colour. Let's go pink. I mean, the colour does not matter at all, but pink is a happy colour, so I'm going pink. Okay, and a stamp pad, and I'm just going to use black for this. And the ink will stain these stamps, so beware of that. And what order? Let's go, try and go in order of what we created. So first off, we're going to go our, oh, my stamp pad might need re-inking. It's not picking up a huge amount of ink. Let's see if it's okay. Oh, not too bad actually. Okay, so that's our first set of arches or rainbow. That's cool. I might change my stamp pad out, I think. I'll grab a colour instead. Just so I'm not fighting with getting the stamps inked up and taking too much time. Okay, so I've grabbed out a Stampin' Up. This is something Lagoon, I think. This one. Doesn't seem to be stamping particularly evenly, but let's give it a go. I'm putting it sideways just because oh, it actually came out okay. Right. And I like the inconsistency of the ink. I think that works really well. Okay, let's try our little leaf design here. I'm excited to have some of these for stamping with rather than using on the gel plate. Okay, I didn't pay attention to pressing down in the middle and the ink's still on it, so that's my fault, not the stamp's fault. Okay, poor stamping technique, that's what that was. I'm getting ink on my fingers. Okay, here we go, little fishy. What are you going to turn out like? Oops, again, I didn't press around the eye, so the ink is still around the eye. Let's try that one again, because I think I can get a better impression. And just that big void. I mean, you could totally draw in an eye, though. It's not a fail, really. You just go in with a pen and add in an eyeball. Okay, so it still did leave that whole circle rather than the center creating an impression, and that time I forgot to press the tail because I was concentrating on the eye. Oh, my technique's going all up the wop today, people. Let's try the butterfly. I was going to try and do these in order, wasn't I? Well, I failed there too. Doesn't matter. Oh, that's cute. I like the butterfly. And see how it's got the wee dot in the middle? That's the center, the pen center printing, which is what I expected to do on the eye here. Maybe I did it too deep or something. I'm not sure. But that's what I was expecting. So, all good. It's quite a juicy ink pad, this one, which is part of the reason I chose it, so I wasn't having to work hard to ink up my stamps. I do like this one though, in the black. I think it did work quite well. Oh, my flower. I like my flower, yes. Very good. Perhaps could have gone finer on the detail rather than the pen nib. But that's alright. I still like it. It was quite a fat nib on that pen. You could use a different tool. Whoops, I've way over inked that. Oh well, never mind. Hey Georgie. Cool. Right, let's give these triangles a go. Try not to ink up as if I'm running out. This could be quite a nice little border or something. Oh yes, like the triangles. Fun, fun, fun. And this weird shaped, interesting shape, let's give it a go and see what it looks like. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah, I think it's all right. I don't know where exactly I'd use it. It'd be a fun one to doodle around actually. Well, there we go. There's my stamps I made during this session. All stamped out. They all work with varying degrees of success. But absolutely you can come along and add some pen detail. Give our fish an eyeball. You could outline it. Like so. I like the detail in the fins. It's come out nicely. Pity I didn't stamp the tail very well, but that's all right. And we can add some pen detail as well. Very cool. And we could do the same thing with the flower as well. You come in here, perhaps with a bigger pen, or you could just do loose flowing lines around it. And I quite like the double line thing. Very whimsical and flowy. Fun, 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 fun. So there we go, people. I hope that you were inspired by this as I was inspired by Rachel doing her foam stamps. Thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to bringing you the next video. Take care, everybody, and have the most wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.